Hi there, Frankie here. Today we're going to visit the cat shelter at the Japan Cat Network's Kyoto location. If you've been wondering about adopting or fostering cats, if you're just curious, or if you simply just like cats, this is the video for you. For some brief history, the JCN was started by American expats teaching English in Japan and helping cats since 1993. Things really accelerated though after the 2011 Fukushima disaster, where tons of people and pets were evacuated and displaced. They eventually moved down to Tokyo, then in 2015 established their second home base in Kyoto, where they also rent out Maneki-machi guest houses. There are volunteers all over the country though. Since I have two friends who have adopted and fostered cats with the JCN in Kyoto, and I also live closer to Kyoto, that's the location I chose to visit. Right now they have so many kittens. This year alone they've taken in over 100 cats and kittens, obviously not all at once, and most of them have already been placed in loving homes. They recently made a kitten nursery in their volunteer house, and there are currently 9 happy kittens living there. These kittens absolutely love humans. They're all so friendly and playful, and they go crazy for treats.
No. Well, she could just tell me the first time I waited, so I can drink this.
No. You have to stay here.
Yeah, stay inside. This one is too much. You guys, you need to chew. Okay?
It's a luxury.
Oh, who's crying
Kitten
so
massage.
much? Oh, no.
Because of all the wonderful foster parents, there is no overcrowding at the shelter. The comfort and happiness of each cat at the shelter is prioritized. There are a few adult cats there as well, and a few other kittens in the shelter. They really love to hang out outside in the enclosed garden area, and everyone loves churu. Camera shy. Look, it's you. It's you.
Are you okay, Mosey?
It's you.
What you do?
Somebody's scratching my feet.
There you go.
Cat butt.
I feel like it is.
The JCN prioritizes the cats that are in immediate danger, either health-wise or those in danger of being put down. If animal control has to get involved, the animal will almost certainly be put down, unfortunately. Shiga Prefecture, for example, puts down around 1,500 stray kittens per year. This is another reason why foster parents are so important. If there's no space at the shelter itself, a foster parent can really help to buy some time while forever homes are found. Sometimes even 1 week can be so helpful. There isn't really any specific amount of time for fostering pets. It could be a week, a month, a year. It all depends on the needs of the pets and whatever your own schedule allows. Of course, for kittens, the fostering period will probably be a lot shorter, and some foster parents end up adopting the cats because, look at these faces, how can you not get attached? The adoption process is quite simple, but there are a few things that must be done. You'll have to do an interview, and a volunteer will need to visit your home to make sure it's a good environment for a cat. It's not an easy commitment to have a pet, and it's important to make sure that all prospective parents are dedicated to keeping and loving their pet for its entire life. Here are some things you should consider if you want to adopt. Since the JCN primarily works with foreigners in Japan, some people may end up moving back to their home country. It'll be its own process, but of course it's possible to take your pet back home with you to your country. Another thing you may not know is that a lot of people leave food outside for stray cats, but people unhappy about the stray cats put poison in the food, and there are no legal repercussions for doing this. If you have a cat, it's best to keep them indoors or in a protected outside space like the little gardens at the JCN. There are, of course, some fees involved. It'll be a minimum of 20,000 yen, but to be honest, that's only a fraction of what you would pay at a pet shop, and you'd be working with an organization that genuinely cares for the well-being of the pets, and one that obviously doesn't put down pets that don't get housed quickly. In addition, spaying, neutering, vaccines, and testing, that would normally cost a lot more. The JCN is incredibly invested in their cats and they love to see updates. The rescuers also love to see photos and videos of the cats living their best lives in their new homes. If you're in the Tokyo or Kyoto areas, you're welcome to visit the shelters and even volunteer, but don't be discouraged if you don't live in those areas. There are volunteers all over the country and anyone in the country can adopt or foster. And now for volunteering. Volunteers are always welcome at the shelters, and of course anyone in the country can be a volunteer. There's always work to be done, and again, there are local volunteers throughout the country. There's also a live-in volunteer program in Kyoto. The house where the kitten nursery is located is the volunteer house. Live-in volunteers can enjoy free accommodation, utilities, and basic foods like pasta and bread. This would be in exchange for about 25 volunteer hours per week, or more if you would like. This arrangement would work nicely for someone who works or studies remotely. The volunteer hours would be with the cats, but some hours could also go towards volunteering with the local students. They're not formal lessons, but simply hanging out with the local preschoolers and kindergartners and giving them the chance to meet international people and hear people speak in other languages, not just English necessarily. So if you'd like to be a live-in volunteer, you must either like cats or kids, though I'm not sure why you'd want to be there in the first place if you didn't at least like cats. There's no pressure to volunteer with the kids, but everyone has had a really positive experience. It's also possible to stay in the volunteer house for just a weekend, a week, etc. The JCN also welcomes donations. I'll have all of their information linked below so you can get in touch with them if you would like to volunteer, donate, foster, or adopt. Just remember, if you want to help cats, there's always something you can do, and if you ever have any cat questions, feel free to contact them. The JCN also works in cooperation with a few machiya in Kyoto, aka traditional merchant homes, and it's possible for visitors to rent the houses nightly, weekly, or even monthly. In the next episode, we'll take a tour of each Maneki Machiya guest house, and you can join me on my 2-night stay in one of them. Thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
Chicken mouth.